About a year ago, I found myself trapped in one of the more stressful periods in my adult life, inundated by this swelling of anxiety stemming from family drama, health concerns, and career insecurity, and this crippling confrontation with the reality of what time will allow underpinning it all. The rigors of life's great pursuits had rendered me wholly disembodied, brimming with pain and nowhere to put it. I needed an escape, and so in an act of defiance or maybe desperation, I spent the last of my savings on a solo Airbnb out on the Oregon coast. Here, in this otherwise unachievable singularity, liberated from the yoke of transaction or excellence, I felt the unfettered pulse of the world, effusive, grounding, and returned to a body I never knew I'd left. I am by no means unique in this, even as a Black man. There are many of us for whom these spaces have served as the backdrop for their entire lives. But I'll never forget the feeling I had driving back home. Of freedom, of wholeness, of equanimity and possibility. Of resenting myself for taking so long to leverage this land for my own well-being, and wanting more than anything for my dogs to experience the power of this space for themselves.
I've lived in the city of Portland for most of my life. Definitely been a journey, definitely a lot of, when I was younger, trying to find myself, my identity, who I am, and how do I exist in the city. It's home, when you're from somewhere and where you lay roots, and now having a child here, it's home. Stress and anxiety and depression even have played a significant role in my life. I've experienced it at an early age with losing like my father and my grandfather back to back. Actually, it's like the 21-year anniversary of my grandfather's passing today. Experiencing loss at an early age and having to deal with being the man of the house in middle school. That's really a tough thing to ask a kid that's still trying to learn and grow and brain hasn't fully developed yet. So
we walk around all the time with these stress hormones on 10, and we've just kind of been socialized to cope with it. Not even really understanding that our baseline might be just kind of like at a kind of a toxic level.
Growing up, I heard these stereotypes of like, oh, you won't catch Black people in the woods, or things of that nature, or oh, most Black people can't swim, or you kind of grow up hearing that. I've met people, my same skin tone that absolutely love being outside and love fishing and going camping and things like that. But then I do have friends that never do that.
Black folks have a complicated relationship with nature. There's definitely like a big disconnect for a lot of folks. You see a lot of jokes about this being white people stuff. It's not a thing that Black people do. It's not a thing for Black people. It's a luxury to take the time to go be walking around outside, to drive somewhere out of the way just to go be outside in the woods, let alone like spending a bunch of money on a little boat to stand on or something like that. It's like, what are you doing?
I feel like this is like a real spiritual journey. Like, I think it's gonna be an eye-opener. I've never been to this part of the coast before, never experienced this as an adult. So for me to go on a trip like this and experience all these things that we're gonna embark on is, just incredible. And it's something that I'll always hold on to for sure.
Something felt different about being here with Matt and Solomon. It was like I was experiencing all this for the first time again. Like sharing a meal you prepared for yourself 100 times, with family. I was excited to see what new experiences this journey had in store for me. Being out here, like out kind of like in the elements, there's nothing really to compete with. There really is just like this peace. Like you forget how big and beautiful everything is, and it's invigorating. And it's a different kind of freedom. Just thinking about how things like this take the back seat when they shouldn't.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just thinking that about how this is like something that's like a worthwhile use of your time, but it might not really seem like it in the face of like whatever responsibilities. It's like, how do you prioritize taking a break?
You ever get the feeling like you don't belong here?
Sometimes, I feel like it's just kind of related to even gentrification in your neighborhood, being made to feel like you don't even belong in your own neighborhood now, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or you've spent, your life growing up. It's the similar kind of a feeling where you can't really be there like you want to be there.
Reminds me of like the concept of like learned helplessness or something, when you've been subtly told by society or something that this is what it is and you don't even question it anymore. And even when you have an opportunity to re-enter into that situation, you don't.
Because it's not for you.
Because it's not for you.
But yeah, I think it is important for us to be able to step out into the space and feel comfortable and relax and be able to enjoy it.
Recently, you were talking about something I had been thinking about, which is like how much of an actual luxury something like this is. Like how much work did it take just to make this happen, us being here in this space? It's not like we can just put on a backpack and walk somewhere, even though it's in our backyard. It's still miles, it's still gas, it's still it's still it's time, it's a hefty amount of resources. And meanwhile, the things that we've been pressured to maintain feel like they're gonna burn down while we're gone.
Right. Is it gonna be there when I get back?
Is it gonna be there when I get back?
I mean, on some real shit, I feel like I left my door unlocked.
Have either one of you guys been kayaking before?
Yeah, I've been a few times. Maybe it was like Outdoor Afro or something, like a group of the kids, black folks outside.
I actually heard about that.
We went kayaking. I went out with them a couple of times.
I definitely haven't. I definitely haven't kayaked. So, yeah, I think this is the one part of the trip where I was like,
A little apprehensive?
Little, wouldn't be lying to say if I wasn't. Hell yeah. Tight as I can. What's up, your boy? What's up?
Instead of paddling forward, what you're going to do is you're going to dip it in at your toes, rotate your hips, and out the side, and at toes, rotate your hips, out the back. The person in the front, you are in charge of the cadence of the kayak. So if you're paddling on the right side, the person in the back needs to watch you and also paddle on the right side so you guys aren't in the air.
Thinking about how many people have never done any of this. So like how many times we really just find ourselves at a bar or just in someone's backyard when we could literally just like be in one of the most beautiful places.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the time when we see people outside or we hear about people outside, it's like the news about something bad that happened.
Yeah.
People got attacked by something, people fell off a cliff, or people got lost, people got abducted by aliens or something. You know what I mean? It's
Hey,
so
they
many
real now.
things that make people in the city feel like, I don't need to be out there doing that.
The feeling of release and wonder was amplified by togetherness. Here, As the trees bent under the wind's weight and the sand shifted as the beach exhaled over the dunes, we felt the world call to us. Here, we were free, we were free.
Paddling, kayaking, hiking, climbing, camping, fishing, all those kind of things that it's just part of everyday life, you know, when it comes down to it. Black people's connection to all those things like runs deep into your DNA. They're all survival techniques. These are all the things that our ancestors were doing before we had the light to turn on, before we had the stove to turn on, before you had the store to go to and buy some food. Like, people had to go outside and get it. We're just not used to doing it. But, you know, it's in us already. Our body's already made to do that kind of stuff. I feel like that's why it's really important, because it kind of gives people like a new baseline to like your existence. It's good to get back into nature, I think, you know, and get back in tune with the cycles of nature and understand that, you know, you're a part of that. And we go hand in hand, and the more that we can work together, you know, with nature, the better off we will be.
Getting a chance to pause and just really enjoy the moment. Just getting off the socials and not really worried about my phone. Just being present in the moment.
Crazy! Oh my God! Kevin, have Kevin coming. Oh! Felt that. Felt that.
So much of life is just like passing by, you know? Like sometimes you just feel like you're grasping at smoke sometimes, and I don't want it to just pass me by. I want to like be actively living my life. I want to actively be a part of this world. What's this trip been like for you guys?
I came here pretty anxiety-filled and
Yeah.
kind of like carrying a lot of stress and a lot of weight. So, like I've said, it just allowed me to let a lot of that off, you know? So it's definitely calmed me down. Definitely give me a reset, and going back home, I'm just gonna carry this energy as long as I can until I need to do this again.
I would just like to be able to do stuff like that, like every weekend or something, or, you know,
Right.
just like...
I was literally just gonna get to that, like, we gotta do this more. I'll carry that with me, because there are certain things that we did that, you know, you always remember.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks for coming out here with me, guys.
thanks for having us.
Yeah, it was nice. It's a great time.
Could really use a break if anyone going my way. I've been walking for so long, baby, I can't feel my legs. Got some weight on me, you never noticed. Said you'll pray for me, don't even bother. Got swept up into a storm and accidentally took the long way. Now I see it all, I kinda enjoy being lost. So don't wait on me, you never know when you gon' see this face again.